Coming up on the marketplace, the Bank of Ghana opens up on how unethical practices in the financial sector have cost the country billions of cedis in 2021.
At the end of the day, the unethical conduct of any player within the industry will affect the industry. And that's the reason why that collaboration was sought, so that we have a common code. So that so long as you play within the banking industry, you abide by this code of conduct. So basically, it is the contents and the essence of this code of conduct that was introduced to our members here in Kumasi.
Dr. Daniel Macaulay talks about entrepreneurship and expectations for next year, 2022.
I believe that every youth out there should be resilient, should be focused, should be consistent, should hold its integrity very high, and also have courage. This is our country. We need peace, and we need hard-working youth for the next tomorrow.
Plus, where can you and should you invest your money in 2022? Well, an investment analyst shares with us some 5 areas to consider next year. We have more on these coming up shortly. Please stay with us. Hello, welcome. I'm Charles Aite. To our first story, stakeholder engagement is currently ongoing to ensure that bankers are aligned by the new regulations and code of conduct. The Ghana Banking Code of Ethics and Business Conduct was put together by the Bank of Ghana, the Ghana Association of Bankers, and the Chartered Institute of Bankers. Officials say that this is critical to erode the unethical banking conduct that led to the collapse of many financial institutions, resulting in the sector's reform. Prince Apia has more in this report.
Initiative by the 3 institutions, the Bank of Ghana, the Ghana Association of Bankers, and the Chartered Institute of Bankers, is meant to provide a common ethical and professional code of conduct for banking professionals. According to them, unethical practices uncovered threaten the stability of the financial sector and cost it billions of cedis. Former principal at the National Banking College, Philip Boabing, gave some explanation to Law Business.
It was found out that, yes, the professional members within the banking industry are limited. Not all members, not all players within the banking industry are professional members or chartered bankers. But at the end of the day, the unethical conduct of any player within the industry will affect the industry. And that's the reason why that collaboration was sought, so that we have a common code, so that so long as you play within the banking industry, you abide by this code of conduct. So basically, it is the contents and the essence of this code of conduct that was introduced to our members here in Kumasi.
He spoke at the 2021 Bankers Week Forum held in Kumasi. It was under the theme Ethics and Professionalism in the Ghana banking sector. Head of Banking Supervision at the Bank of Ghana, Osei Jesse, said the code of conduct will build back the confidence in the banking service.
Adequate legislations have been enacted by the Bank of Ghana to regulate banking operations and to ensure a fair competitive environment. This notwithstanding, regulations and penalties alone are not sufficient to ensure discipline in operations. Therefore, high ethical standards are expected to guide operations in the banking industry. When the banks are working for profitability, certain ethical principles of the banking profession may be loosely applied. We believe that to enhance public confidence and trust in banks and pride within the banking profession, individuals working in banking should make a personal commitment to a higher standard of professionalism.
The Chartered Institute of Bankers is therefore charged to ensure implementation of most parts of this initiative. Charles Oforiakwa is the CEO.
The code is for all practitioners, and the law is new. The regulation is even barely a month old. So industry is gradually doing the necessary stakeholder, engagements to ensure that all practitioners are enrolled as members of the institute in the various member category. You don't necessarily have to be a chartered banker to be a member of the institute. So that is the trend now, and discussions are still ongoing to get all practitioners, to be members of the institute. All practitioners will come under the Ghana Banking Code of Ethics and Business Conduct, benefit from the banking education, leading to one becoming a chartered banker for those who wish to study, and then also having regular continuing professional development. These are, retooling, sessions that we have for our members to be abreast with current, issues.
Meanwhile, stakeholder discussions and engagement are ongoing to ensure full implementation for high ethical standards. Prince Apia reporting.
Now, MTN has given the firm assurance of reopening its service centers across the country from next Monday, the 3rd of January. This comes amid suspicion that the close down was because of some staff at these service centers testing positive for COVID-19. Meanwhile, Joy Business is learning that the reopening may be tied to improved COVID-19 cases in the country. Apia Dumako is with CAT International and he joins us via Zoom. We're grateful that you could join us. We have seen the case with MTN. Could we see other businesses consider shutdowns amid the Omicron variant? Well, I think we shall try reconnecting with Apia Dumako, but of course the background to this entire situation is the upsurge of the Omicron variant amid cases being surging over the past few weeks. The Ghana Health Service has been updating us on that particular note, but there are concerns regarding its impact on business openings and closures as we assume the new year in just a few days, just a day away actually from today. But what exactly remains a threat to Ghana's business community, and how best can we remedy the situation so that we could, move into the next year without cases of shutdowns of businesses and layoffs by several, job, owners and employers in that way? We shall try to raise Apia Dumako once again from CAT International to help us understand where lie the exigencies and how best we could balance the input in that particular regard. So while we raise him up in the meantime, we could move on to other stories where the business magnate Dr. Daniel Macaulay has called for more support for the private sector to provide jobs. Sharing some prospects for the new year, the businessman in an interaction with George Raff explains why entrepreneurship must be the way to go in 2021. He also had some word for entrepreneurs in the country. Take a listen.
If you look at the sub-region, Ghana is one of the lowest tax countries. We are spoiled. I mean, as a nation, we haven't looked at that. Here lies the budget. You look at the budget. We call ourselves capitalist economy, but honestly, we are socialist economy.
Yeah.
Yes. All that we do is socialism, but we feel we are capitalist economy. So we are using capitalist philosophies to run a socialist economy. Yeah. Right. You look at the budget in totality, it's a consumption. I want to see something like government picking, let's say, 5 most imported products, to zoom in to say that, okay, for these budgets, we are not going to import rice anymore. We are going to import chicken. Look for 3 good businessmen. Support them with funding and say, look, go out there and produce Ghana 600,000 metric tons of rice. And we'll ban the importation of rice. Do you know how much jobs this will create? It's possible that every youth out there should be resilient, should be focused, should be consistent, should hold its integrity very high, and also have courage. This is our country. We need peace, and we need hard-working youth for the next tomorrow. I am here to provide a shoulder to anybody who is serious. Immediately I give you my shoulder, you become taller than me eventually. So you get to see the tomorrow that I wouldn't be able to see.
Dr. Daniel Macaulay there for his 2022 prospects. Now, let's revisit our earlier story regarding the closures of some service centers by MTN Ghana, raising questions about the future for businesses amid the Omicron variant. Apio Dumako is with CAT International and he joins us via Zoom. We're grateful that you could join us. We have seen the case with MTN. Could we see other businesses shut down next year amid the scale of the Omicron variant?
Yes. I think because of what is happening, I will not be surprised when we see other businesses also trying to shut down to save their staff from getting infected or to prevent the slowdown of their business processes. I mean, MTN has kind of placed public health over profit, and I think we should laud them for the action that they have taken. Some businesses would have allowed their staff who have tested positive to show up. They will come and also infect customers who are coming to do business. So I think that we don't need to chastise MTN for what has happened. I know very well that MTN has an alternative platform for which their subscribers and customers can use to resolve about 95% of their needs. And those remaining 5%, you may have to walk into the shop when services resume. And seriously, we are not in normal times. And so when some of these things happen, I think we need to kind of understand the service provider because they are also concerned about life and life as well.
Well, but how strategic must government be to minimize the impact on the business community, especially when we continue to see a surge in cases of Omicron? Not just in Ghana, but across the world?
I think for me, we've seen government has done a lot in terms of rolling out the vaccine. Unfortunately, most people have not gone for their shots, and then they are kind of putting burden on the public payers and hospital bills. So I think for what government has done is satisfactory, but I think that government still needs to do more. During this Christmas celebration, we were expecting government to come up with some measures to kind of restrict mass gathering, but I think nothing of that sort was done. In some countries, in Europe and in Asia, they have kind of restricted mass gathering, and in Ghana here, I think there is no restriction on that. And I bet you that within the second week of January, we will then see the fruit of the COVID cases that originated during the Christmas period.
We're grateful that you could join us. Many thanks for your submission there. He's with CAT International, helping us understand the impact of the Omicron variant on the prospects of business moving to 2022. We still stay with New Year projections because aviation expert Shawn Mendes is predicting a somewhat gloomy picture for Ghana's aviation space amid the impact of the Omicron variant on airlines world over. Speaking to Joy Business, Shawn Mendes says deepened reforms to stimulate the aviation space could be a game changer for Ghana.
You know, that's a very good question. I'm not sure whether Omicron is really going to be what depresses the aviation sector in 2022 as much as it is some of the knee-jerk reactions that governments take towards Omicron and other new variants which inevitably will crop up. The key thing that the airline industry, or in fact any industry, really needs to be able to sustain itself during downturns like a pandemic is having consumer confidence. And that means consistency in policies, consistency in actions, consistencies in protocol for travel, for purchasing, and so forth. When that is able to be established, the growth will automatically come as the consumers are more confident. If the governments continually change this, if there's constantly changes like a new country putting on restrictions or new types of tests to be done or new changes in what has to be done prior to flying, that is where consumers begin to say, you know what, let's do something instead. So I don't think it's as much the variant. You know, we're 2 years into this pandemic now. We've established that it is possible to travel safely if you take the right precautions. But sometimes governments, for reasons that are not always scientific, take actions that drive down consumer confidence. And I think that is a bigger risk to the aviation industry in 2022 than Omicron or any other variant itself might be.
Well, from the aviation space, we now target our markets because we're just a day away from the new year, and already some traders are closing their books on how the year's sales fared for them. My colleague Beverly Broom has been to the Malamata market in Accra, where she observes that even though the cost of prices of goods has increased, sales have been good. Here's her report.
So some few days to Christmas, Joy Business visited some markets here in Accra to interact with traders on how sales is going ahead of the Christmas. Now Christmas is over. We are going back to the market to interact with traders again to find out how sales was for them.
It's contract that I get from a company. Wow. And every year I used to do this pace, and I think this year, by God's grace, because a lot of people have been complaining about the budget and every price is high. By God's grace, we've passed through.
Oh, Christmas, mommy.
Sales was good for me this Christmas, but we didn't have enough goods.
But what I have,
This Christmas was very, very bad. Previous Christmas, we've been complaining, they did not buy anything, but it was better. As you can see, I'm sitting down here since morning. I think I've sold 2 or 3 items. Nobody has come here. So I'm hoping, say, from this time up to 31st, no, they will buy so that I can pay my creditors.
For now, everybody is buying flour for cake and for pastries. Sometimes they will use it in the house, and there's nothing special during the Christmas day.
So you had diverse views from traders at the Malamata market. Whilst others say that business was good, others also think that sales was slow. For Joy Business, I am Beverly Koko Broom.
And that's Beverly's report there. But of course, we're gearing up for the new year, and many of you might have drawn your budgets on how much to spend and save in 2022. But have you thought about how and where to invest your money next year? Let's bring in Ruth Ofori. She is a financial analyst with the African Financial Traders Organization. Ruth, we're grateful that you could join us. How was the investment climate, first of all, this year?
Hello, good afternoon.
Nice meeting you, Ruth. Help us understand the investment climate for 2021 so far, from your perspective as an analyst.
Yeah, the investment climate has been good so far. People chipping into the new investment stream, and so far it has been good.
Indeed, but of course, I believe there has been some risks involved within the investment climate. We've had COVID-19, we've had people losing their jobs, having to affect their streams of income. Where did the risks lie in the space of this year as well?
Seriously, what I would say is, yes, COVID-19 has disrupted a lot of investments and incomes, but if you're a good researcher on the kind of investment you want to invest in, any investment opportunity you want to invest in, I don't think COVID-19 would have done any damage to these kind of investments you have involved yourself in. What I would stress on emphatically is, before you want to invest in anything or any investment opportunity, you need to delve in deeper in research. as to what you want to invest in that will bring income or profit in the long run.
I see. So now walk us through some 5 investment portfolios which are ripe for the taking in 2022, because we are so eager to find out where to invest our monies.
Seriously, the economy is going digitalization, you get it? And I'll actually urge each and everyone to delve in or involve themselves in this, because it's going to be a boomer. The economy is going to boom, digitalization is going to, hello?
You're loud and clear, Ruth.
I'm not getting you clearly.
Yeah, you're loud and clear. You're making a case regarding us going digital and the need for us to invest in Ghana's booming digital economy.
Exactly. We have so many aspects in the digitalization sectors. We have the banking, and we have other financial aspects to which comes in the bonds, shares, and other cryptocurrencies, which is illegal to say. I think Forex too is another investment opportunity each and everyone should delve into, where things are made easier as compared to the previous years. This is what I want people to invest in. That will bring them money, and also to the economy is going to reduce unemployment rate, as to how people always search for work, go out to search for work. This is actually going to reduce unemployment for the government, and it's going to reduce a heavy load on the government as to how to solve unemployment for the country.
Great, Ruth. We're grateful that you could join us with some insights as to where to invest our capital. You talked about bonds, you talked about specific shares, you even talked about the Forex market as well, even though we're having issues regarding regulation along those lines. We shall explore them to see how best they could turn out for us in 2022. But we're grateful, Ruth, that you could help us with your insight. Well, you're still watching The Marketplace. We're going for a short break. We'll be right back with more stories. Do stay with us. Yeah, welcome back. Banana production is thriving in the North-Chon district despite challenges faced with the weather, the cost of production and other issues. An agronomist is asking governments to extend subsidies in fertilizer to bigger corporations like the Musa Hamad Farms Limited so that they could employ more people. Ivy Sachoji has more in this report.
Agronomist Mr. Yao Ankra Budu has asked governments to give bigger corporations and farms some incentives to help them also employ more people on their farms. Mr. Ankra Budu gave the advice in an interview with Joy Business at the Musa Hamad Farms Limited, a banana farm in Aviation Battle in the North-Chon district. Mr. Budu noted that with the help of government in terms of agricultural interventions, millions of unemployed youth will be able to have jobs.
Fertilizer is 70% of our cost of production. It occupies 70% of our cost of production. If it could be subsidized in a way, and some other enabling environment in terms of power and everything is created, it is the expansion for a potential like a banana farm will be rapid, and more people, as I said, remember, an hectare can employ minimum 1.2 people.
On female employees, Mr. Budu noted that 70 out of the 230 employees at the Musa Hamad farms are female and have proven to be very hardworking and more reliable.
Recent events have shown us that the women employees that we have are the most reliable. They do from the field work, that's the conventional field work that we thought was only culture for men. They do those ones, and consistently at work to support.
On soil fertility for banana, Mr. Bodu noted that North Tongue district has the most suitable soil for banana farming. Mr. Eric Bromer is the farm manager at the Mustahamat Farms Limited.
So our main product here is the brand is Señorita, which is our Class A banana, and we have also our Class B banana, which is the Hermanita. So this product will go to Europe. So mainly our market is France. We have some France, Antwerp, Belgium. So that is the main time market that we have now.
The DCE for North Tongue District, Osborne Divine Fenu, in an interview with Joy Business said there are great potentials in terms of agriculture for the people to take advantage of.
I've observed that.
And thus, Ivy Sesoji's reports there ending the marketplace. I'm Charles Aite. Many thanks for watching.